are left underwater. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News tonight. I'm Marla Tejas.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Phil Schuman. Well, if you are tired of the wet weather, you're not alone. The good news is that it appears to be heading out, but there's still a lot of cleanup to do. We have team coverage, as always, for you. Meteorologist Adam Kruger tracking what's happening now. But
we begin with Fox 11's Ed Lascos on the ground, checking out some widespread damage. Where are you, Ed?
Marla, we are in Santa Monica here, and I'll tell you, the rain may have moved to the east, but we're still dealing with a hangover from this, the third storm to strike us this week alone. Can you imagine that? And here we're talking about the threat of a concrete debris flow of all things. Frank, if you're ready, take us right into the story. Santa Monica Canyon here, and there is that debris flow. Those are concrete slabs down there. Look at them, dozens of them spread across the flood channel, threatening to block the channel, the water, the runoff from the hillside. See, it's still moving down there, but at the height of the storm, yesterday, early this morning, it was a surging, roaring river here, and that's the concern that these slabs could actually wind up blocking the channel, flooding the neighborhood. Let's get to it. To the video we go. Better look up top. Sky Fox, there is all of that concrete. The backstory is here. They placed those slabs of concrete along the walls of the flood channel back in the 1970s, and then when you had that surge of water coming down from the hillsides of the Pacific Palisades earlier, it ripped those concrete slabs right off the sides of the channel. Imagine the force it would take to rip them off and then carry them down the channel, piling up in this area, and the neighbors very concerned, saying they've got to get this cleaned up before the next storm hits. You get heavy rain, could act as a barrier, send the water out of the channel into the neighborhood, and many of them here shaking their heads, saying it is yet another threat that they're dealing with following that horrible firestorm that hit the Palisades. Listen.
We've been dealing with the fires, and then there was a flood after the fires, and then this would make it more likely to flood again. So, yeah, it's scary.
Can you imagine the force of the water? Look how it just ripped that concrete and carried it all the way down here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
County crews are moving into the area. There is big, heavy equipment coming in. So I wanted to just let everybody know to expect that there are going to be some traffic impacts and delays in the area. City crews are on the ground. CD11 is on the ground, going door to door, letting residents in the area know what's happening.
Just one of the many areas. Now we're talking about a debris flow and a mud flow here. This, the Hollywood Hills off Outpost Drive. It's just down, just below Mulholland. That's a mud flow there coming, the neighbors say, from a vacant lot. The mud starting to flow down the hillside into the backyard of one of the homes there. No one hurt in all of this. No structural damage, LA City Fire says, to that home involved. We know, though, that mud is several inches thick. More video now from inches thick, inches deep to feet deep, talking about the snowfall. Look at this. Blizzard conditions reported up in the mountains of San Bernardino County. Unbelievable snow up there from this latest storm. In fact, blizzard conditions reported to bring an outage of Wi-Fi service, cell service, all the posts, all the major carriers down in Running Springs for most of the day. Still not certain if they're all back up at this hour, but what a nightmare up there. Many of the roads barely passable, several of the cars buried under a couple of feet of snow, chains more than required through all of these mountain roads. Really the only way to get through very, very, very slowly, and boy, you got to cross your fingers. It's beautiful, very dangerous, especially with blizzard conditions reported, and you lose all the cell service. Imagine that. So we come back out here live, Santa Monica. Frank will show us. That's the concern. You saw Councilwoman Tracy Park talking about it. They're going to be bringing in the heavy equipment, and the plan here is maybe some of the equipment may start rolling in tomorrow because they're working on a bit of a deadline, as we've been told. They want to get this cleared out because the possibility of another storm, more rain, guys, coming in next week, and they don't want this. You know, the irony is, one of the ladies over there who was a couple of houses down, one of the neighbors said, imagine you have a flood channel supposed to carry the water off the hillsides, prevent flooding, and then it's blocked like this by concrete, of all things, and it could wind up flooding the area. So it's a bit of a strange, threatening situation here that the city, the county, everybody wants to get it cleared up before we get some more rain, heavy rain that moves in.
So, Ed, I mean, we've never seen anything like that. I mean, the plan is to bring in essentially some type of like bulldozers or heavy equipment just to lift the concrete pieces out of there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Frank, show us. Imagine that. You know, they're very thick, and I don't know. I said dozens, maybe well over 100 of them. You know, imagine how much they weigh. So yeah, they've got to bring in. Somebody was saying maybe even a small crane or try to get some type of a payloader down there, and then bring them up here to the bridge over here. And you know, this area that's right off PCH that leads up to Santa Monica and up into the one side of the Palisades. It's very, very narrow. This street's very narrow, so it's going to be a nightmare for a lot of the folks here. No wonder they're out. They were going door to door earlier, I'm told. City crews telling a lot of the folks about the plans and saying, you know, it's going to be tough here with all the heavy equipment moving in. And as you look around here, Frank, a lot of these actually over that way, any way you want to go, it's very narrow. And then you got a lot of the cars, the folks park here along this roadway, and so it's, see how narrow it is. So imagine you got to move all the vehicles and then bring in the heavy equipment. So they've got their work cut out for them, but it's something they've got to do, certainly, because it's the last thing you want, this kind of a jam up right in one of the flood channels.
Right. All right, Ed, thank you.
Thanks, Ed. We have some, pardon me, some breaking news out of Montebello, a structure fire, and there it is. This is Skyfox live pictures here. This is right off North 1st Street and Whittier Boulevard. We're told this is a commercial building. It looks to be next door, at least, to maybe more commercial or apartments.
It's hard to tell, yeah. That looks like an apartment-style building, but obviously, this just broke out, like, you know, within the past several minutes, and you see the first crews responding, you know, pouring water onto it, but it looks like it's spreading pretty quickly. Yeah,
massive flames here. Montebello, Monterey Park fire, they are on scene.
Yeah, we don't know if anyone's inside, if anyone's hurt, so if you're heading in that general direction, obviously you want to try to avoid that area. We're going to keep an eye on this and bring you more details when we get them.
Meantime, we're going to take you to LAX, and it's backing up there in the departure lanes, but the skies, they're clear. Cold, though. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger now.
Yeah, so a much-needed break in the wet weather, and we should, for the most part, for most areas, be done with it for the rest of the night. Now, I say most because, as you see on radar right now, there's a little bit out there. It's light, it's isolated, not bothering too many people, but just a couple little showers passing by. A little bit of snow lingers over some of the mountains as we go through the night. There might be another inch or two of snow, but not the, you know, massive amounts of snow we've seen so far this week. Let me take you in a little bit closer. You can see the mountains right here. Here's Wrightwood, Big Bear over here. Up into the high desert, we also have some light rain passing by as well. And then a little farther south, here's Orange County, Inland Empire, just a few showers moving through there. Not much on radar around a lot of LA at the moment. And again, as we get later into the night, this is all going to start to wind down. We're just at the very tail end of this little bit of wet weather. Also, we've seen some pretty good winds, and wind advisories are gradually expiring as we go later into the night tonight. Notice Long Beach, though, have a gust over 20 miles per hour. We see some stronger winds around Big Bear, up into the desert, and over into the desert as well. It's a little over 30 at Palm Springs. That's where wind advisories continue into tomorrow morning. The other story now, as we're losing the wet weather, is, yes, that it's cold. And obviously, it's been cold lately. The nights have been cold. But tonight is going to be a little bit colder than we've seen actually, this is a wrong graphic. This is for tomorrow night, which, by the way, tonight's going to be just a pinch colder than some of the numbers you see right here. Tomorrow night, also, we have some colder temperatures in store, a lot of upper 30s and low 40s. But very nice weather for the weekend. I don't want to glaze over that. We'll get more into those details a little bit later. For now, back to you.
I got stuck in the water there, and I was going through, and I thought I'd get through, and it just stopped.
That's one driver who got stuck tonight. Flood waters are receding across the San Fernando Valley, but earlier it was not pretty. No, another day of widespread flooding. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez shows us.
But it was stupid. I just should have turned around.
He was driving one of at least 6 vehicles you can see on the Citizen app. They ended up stranded on rain-flooded Vineland at Van Owen.
I got stuck in the water there, and I was going through, and I thought I'd get through, and it just stopped.
The third storm this week made its way across the San Fernando Valley. Not as strong as the first two, but feeling colder.
I'm freezing. You're freezing? It's cold. Yeah, it is very.
She was one of many trying to keep warm as bus drivers negotiated the surf along the curb to make it easier for passengers to get on. But if you thought flooded intersections made driving difficult for some vehicles, imagine having to walk in this. It's like a pool. This man approached our news truck to borrow our cell to call a cab.
I have to call a taxi. Look at the floods. I can't cross the street. My shoes are soaked. I'm completely soaked.
He's not the only one.
A lot of water. The climate is not good. It's working, but my boss is only a half day. It's a problem.
Because of the rain?
Yeah.
He works construction, but no half days for crews dealing with power outages. They are working overtime as is Caltrans. The 5 freeway closed from Tuxford to Lancashire as lanes filled with water. But still passable, the road to the Riverwood community in Tahoe, although debris piled high and knocked over barricades attest to how much water has been flowing. Through the Little Tahoe Wash, authorities asking people to stay away from the water and follow this man's advice.
My suggestion, stay safe, stay inside. Don't be like me out here.
Tracking the rain in the San Fernando Valley, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Well, if you'd like to track our weather, you can head to our website, foxla.com. You will find some interactive radars, the full 7-day forecast, and more. You can also follow it all if you download our mobile app, Fox Local. Some other news tonight. New at 8, a Beverly Hills woman was just evicted from a home she had been living in for years. She says she was living there legally. All of this comes at the same time as the same woman is being accused of filing false liens on other properties.
There's a lot of accusations going back and forth, but we're lucky that we have our Gina Silva live for us to explain it all. Gina?
Yeah, it is a complicated case and it is troubling. This eviction involves a woman accused of recording liens on multiple properties across LA County. Homeowners say it shouldn't be so easy for someone to pull that off. Evicted from a Beverly Hills home. Rita Ortiz, who advertises as a business consultant on social media, is accused of squatting for over 2 years. The homeowner spoke with us over the phone.
I visited the house several times to try to get access to the property. She would not let me into the house. And eventually she actually filed a restraining order against me, and so we had to go to court and defend ourselves.
Hola, Rita.
We contacted Rita, and through text, she denied squatting and claimed neighbors stole her property. But this story has many layers. Homeowners say Ortiz, the founder and registered agent of Ortiz Consulting LLC, a real estate and business consulting company, has recorded mechanics liens against properties throughout LA County, with recorded claims totaling hundreds of millions of dollars.
We've found out there are 35 outstanding liens in Los Angeles and several other counties on people where she has the same MO.
Andrea Knowles says a mechanic's lien for $24,640,000 was recorded against her Beverly Hills home, filed under the name of Rita Ortiz, for claims of unpaid cleaning services.
We didn't know her. None of us have ever met her. She's never been in my home. I've never contracted business with her.
The homeowner where Rita was evicted says public records show Ortiz recorded at least 5 mechanics liens against his property while she was living there.
One of the ones that she filed a $3 million mechanics lien against my property, claiming that she provided cleaning services. So somebody can just go in, file this claim, put a lien on your house, cloud the title, and you have no recourse.
Ortiz claims she only filed the liens because those former neighbors defrauded her, something they deny.
It feels terrible, and also, you feel pretty powerless that somebody has created a situation on the most valuable thing you own, which is your home.
Now, in LA County, you can sign up for alerts to notify you if there has been a change to your title, but that's pretty much it. These homeowners say there should be legislation introduced to protect these homeowners from anything like this. Now, Marla, Phil, I don't know about you guys, but I had never heard of mechanics liens. Have you?
Yes. A mechanics lien is what a contractor files in your house, let's say if they do work and you haven't paid them. But, Gino, I know you've done a lot of stories similar to this one, and you mentioned something important about the laws about that you can register to have something, have them be notified if there's a change to your title. but it's after the fact, right? It needs to be something that
It's after
in
the
process.
fact. Yeah. Exactly. You know, for example, for your Social Security, if you wanted to lock that up, you can actually do that so that nobody goes and applies and gets credit with your Social Security number. Homeowners are hoping that maybe something like that could be introduced for your titles, where it'll be locked up and there's nothing they can do about it. And in this case, they didn't even know until one neighbor wanted to refinance because of, construction on that property. And that's when they found out they had a lien. So then other neighbors started checking their property, and same thing. They started realizing their property also had a lien, a mechanic's lien. And, you know, when you look at the amount, I mean, for Knowles, the amount was over $24 million for cleaning services. I mean, why would the county allow that? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, from what I understand, you can file the lien, and it's on you to attest that it's valid. Obviously, this will all take some time to unravel. Gina, look forward to your follow-up story to this one.
Yeah, egregious. My goodness. Okay, Gina, thank you.
Our new details tonight. A 25-year-old mother pleaded not guilty to murder and assault charges in the death of her 17-month-old daughter. Carmen Anita DeGreg is accused of fatally injuring the child inside a Santa Monica apartment last month. DeGreg is being held on $2 million bail and faces up to 25 years to life if convicted.
Well, still ahead at 8, a senior British royal arrested for the first time in almost 400 years.
Yes, former Prince Andrew released after being taken into custody, but the investigation certainly is not over.
Are federal border patrol and ICE agents immune from prosecution? Well, the short answer is yes, but a new lawsuit filed today could change that if it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court. That story coming up.
We want to take you back to the breaking news that we're following in Montebello. A structure fire. You see it there. Flames, if you were watching at the top of the hour, have been tamed a little bit by the good work there of Montebello and Monterey Park Fire. Those are the agencies on scene. This is off North 1st Street and Whittier Boulevard. All that we know at this point with these live pictures, it's a commercial building. It does look like it's adjacent, Phil, to an apartment complex.
It does, yeah. It looks like on the right-hand side of your screen, looks like an apartment building, and this commercial building on the other side of the street behind it looks like some type of one-story warehouse or store. We haven't been able to get information yet from the fire departments here, whether anyone was inside, whether it was open or closed, if any injuries. Obviously, this is going to be a very busy area to avoid. We're going to stay on this one and get back to it when we have some more details. All right, huge story today. If you haven't heard by now, former Prince Andrew was arrested and is now out of police custody. It's on suspicion of misconduct in public office.
It is the first time in almost 4 centuries that a senior British royal was placed under arrest, but he has so far not been charged, nor has he been exonerated. Fox's Stephanie Benton breaks down what's next.
Do you have any reaction to the arrest of your brother, sir?
King Charles III keeping up a public schedule at London Fashion Week after his younger brother, former Prince Andrew's arrest. The King saying the law must take its course.
The reality is that no one is untouchable in terms of the law. In the UK, and that includes members of the royal family.
Andrew was taken into custody on his 66th birthday on suspicion of misconduct in public office. It comes after emails to Jeffrey Epstein allegedly show him sharing confidential government documents, including details of official trips he took while serving as Britain's trade envoy.
It's going to hinge on how serious a breach of duty was this. Is the public trust threatened by what he did? Was there harm? And was this information, though, inherently confidential?
The former prince is the first senior British royal to be arrested in nearly 400 years. He was previously stripped of his titles, but continues to live on the family's private Sandringham estate,
which indirectly is funded by the British taxpayer. So I wonder how much more the British public will tolerate this sort of leech essentially living on the public purse.
The new allegations are separate from those made by Virginia Guthrie, who claimed she had been trafficked to Britain to have sexual relations with Andrew. She died by suicide last year. In a statement, her family reacted to the arrest, saying, quote, "He was never a prince. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you." Andrew has previously denied any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. In London, Stephanie Bennett, Fox News.
I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exonerated. That's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame. But he used to speak about Epstein when he was alive, but now they speak. But I'm the one that can talk about it because I've been totally exonerated. I did nothing.
Well, President Trump reacts to the former prince's arrest. Trump said he thinks the arrest will be a bad look for the royal family, but also said multiple times he has been, quote, totally exonerated in connection with the Epstein files.
An update now in the story we've all been following. The reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie's safe return has topped $200,000. It comes after, as we've been telling you, that DNA found on a glove near her Tucson home, well, it failed to produce any matches in the FBI database. So now investigators are turning to DNA genealogy databases, family DNA, if you will. The hope being that that unidentified evidence can be connected to someone, perhaps a distant relative, that could possibly lead to a suspect. The mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie has been missing since February 1st.
Really sad news tonight. Actor Eric Dane, known for Grey's Anatomy as Dr. Mark McSteamy Sloan, and in the hit HBO show Euphoria as Cal Jacobs, among other hits since the 1990s, has died at 53 from ALS. Less than a year after his diagnosis, Dane passed away today, surrounded by loved ones. He became a passionate advocate for ALS awareness, earning recognition for his efforts. His family says he'll be deeply missed and thanked fans for their support. Well, coming up, gaming platform Roblox under fire
It's an unusual lawsuit the county is filed claiming the company exposed children to sexual content and online predators. That's next.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
All right, we're live. Look at the Santa Monica Pier lit up blue on this Thursday night. Adam Kruger and his team have been hard at work this week, and we appreciate all your efforts. What's the latest?
Well, I was going to say, too, if you've ever wanted to go to the pier and you haven't made it and you just don't want to be there when there's a crowd, well, maybe tonight's a good night to be there. It is chilly. It's breezy out there. And as far as the wet weather, that is all but wrapped up. There's a little bit left over here tonight, but it's going to wind down pretty soon. And I want to start with this. The weekend, not only just because, you know, we're looking forward to the weekend, but also looking forward to much nicer weather, warmer temperatures, dry weather this weekend, mostly sunny, almost 70 degrees on Saturday and over 70 with sunshine on Sunday. So the payoff is coming, but first we have to get through some cold nights, pretty chilly day tomorrow, and a little bit of lingering spotty rain right now. Radar's not showing much. A lot of the greater LA area to Orange County, there's just very little on radar. Maybe a few very light sprinkles or light showers passing through the Inland Empire, and a little bit of light snow still hanging out over some of the mountains. That'll be the case through the night. Futurecast at 10 o'clock tonight shows, notice these blue colors here showing that just a little bit of snow may linger again into tonight and then kind of winding down late overnight. Now, tomorrow we start the day with a little bit of an increase in cloud cover, so mostly cloudy through maybe morning, midday, and then clearing a little bit late day tomorrow, and a chilly day tomorrow, but like we showed you, those temperatures will be going up for the weekend. We also have some spots breezy. It's not that it's windy everywhere where we have wind alerts right now, and in fact, a lot of these expire pretty soon. For LA County West, the wind advisory ends at 9 o'clock. It goes until 2 a.m. for Orange County, Inland Empire, and down to the south, and in the deserts, the wind advisory goes till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when the stronger winds will linger a little bit longer. If you joined us towards the top of the 8 o'clock, this is the graphic I meant to show you. I showed you tomorrow night, but this is tonight's forecast now. Look how cold it's going to be. First of all, in Big Bear, at about 11 degrees for the low tonight. But as we come in a little bit closer, you can see a lot of 30s across the high desert, plenty of 30s across the valleys, the Inland Empire, and maybe up to, let's say, the 5 corridor. You get on the coast side of the 5, and it's a little bit warmer, meaning just not 30s, like 40 degrees around downtown, maybe low 40s near the coast from Orange County up through LA County as well. Malibu maybe down to the 30s, so pretty cold stuff, and overall the coldest night so far this season. Then we take you to tomorrow. We've got those cold 30s still in the mountains. We got a lot of 50s for high temperatures, couple spots, maybe 60, 61 at the warmest, something like that. But that's going to be our last really chilly day for a while. We do warm up this weekend, and we stay warm next week. Speaking of next week, I've been getting a lot of questions about rain next week. People are thinking there's going to be a big storm for us. I don't think that's the case, but there will be a big storm hitting California. You can see as we show you here Saturday, there's this kind of string of rain pointed right towards Northern California, the Northwest. That's Sunday. Here's Monday. Notice the stream likely stays north of us. It does get a southward shift into Tuesday, Wednesday, but mostly still stays north of us, I think, next week. That's why I only have a 20% rain chance for Wednesday, and that's it. Not expecting much rain. I don't think it's too big of a concern right now. We're going to warm nicely, though. We start warming this weekend. We hold in the 70s through next week. Looking a whole lot better. Back to you.
Still ahead here, a U.S. war veteran is suing the federal government after being detained in one of those massive ice raids.
Why he decided to take legal action next.
Across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Residents concerned about sex trafficking and prostitution along LA's Western Avenue corridor packed a community meeting tonight demanding answers and accountability.
Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf joins us live with what residents heard and what could change. Matthew?
Well, a lot of residents were here tonight angry. They feel like really nothing has been happening and they haven't really seen anything being taken care of from a city standpoint on this issue, and they say months. But if you go ahead and take a look at this video, you can see inside that community town hall tonight, dozens of residents from Larchmont to Koreatown and from all along Western Avenue were here. The main topic, prostitution and sex trafficking, is something we first exclusively exposed last month in the Larchmont neighborhood. Residents almost every night there seen people having sex outside their homes and then picking up used condoms and more the next morning, even next to schools. And for months, residents say they have felt ignored, like nothing was being done. So tonight they brought those concerns to officials.
Big issue for all of us. It's not just me picking up used condoms on my street. It's seeing literally 15-year-old girls on the corner not too far from my home at, in the middle of the night wearing nothing. It's just pretty appalling.
For core homeowners that were being taxed to death in this city, okay, I expect a little bit more to be done in our neighborhoods.
With this mayor and this city and the city council, I don't think anything's ever going to get done.
You don't feel like anything was happening with that?
No, I felt like it was falling on deaf ears.
Do you like to see more police out there and looking for what's going on?
Yeah, I think everyone is playing a role to make sure that the sex trafficking is eliminated. We brought different partners today. We had Journey Out, which I think is the most important one because that's how we're going to get the women out. But we brought in the LAPD, District Attorney. We're working with LA Sand, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Oh, would you like to see more police out there?
I think we have a really great team right now. We're moving forward with our plan. Everyone feels very confident, and we'll keep working with our team that we have here.
So it seems pretty clear that the council member doesn't want to see more police out there looking for this problem, but they're also bringing in this outside agency to try and help the women that are going through sex trafficking, and they think that is the solution that hopefully gets this fixed. Reporting live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Yeah, I mean, you were pressing the councilman there a little bit, but you could really sense the people's frustrations. I mean, this isn't a new issue, right?
Yeah, this is something that they say has been happening for months. They've been working with Los Angeles police, even residents texting the resource officer for that area pictures of what's going on. Yeah. And even then they felt like nothing was taking place. So then tonight they had this meeting, and I think a lot of residents are still leaving here with questions, wondering if really this is going to make a difference.
The people who you interviewed when you broke this story in the Larchmont area, did you see some of them there tonight?
Yeah, I think I recognized at least two neighbors from that neighborhood in Larchmont that were here expressing their frustration. But there were dozens more here, and it shows you just how widespread it is beyond just that one neighborhood in Larchmont, spilling over into Koreatown and really all along Western Avenue.
I mean, it's widespread in one sense, but then in another, like, you know where it is. It's right. A street. It's from here to here. It's not like it's all over Southern California that we're talking about. So.
And I remember in Larchmont, they literally put up their own signs alerting them
where it was.
The perpetrators, if you will, that there were cameras out there and, police are involved, and that didn't seem to do anything either.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically the residents' last hope that, maybe putting these signs up would change something because nothing else is working. And really, they felt like the signs weren't working either. So after we did that first report, again, about a month ago, they're now seeing this meeting tonight, and hopefully maybe they'll start seeing a change.
All right, Matthew, thank you. Moving to this now, an Iraq War veteran from Ventura is suing the federal government for being unlawfully detained. This is the video of that. Last summer's raid, it was at a Camarillo cannabis farm. Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna has this story.
July 10, 2025, chaos at a cannabis farm near Camarillo. Ventura native George Redis is in that white Hyundai. He claims he was just trying to get to work when he encountered this skirmish line of federal agents. Skyfox shows George exit his vehicle. He then gets back in to follow agents' instructions to back up. Tear gas and agents around his car made things difficult, he says, to see. In his cell phone video, you can hear George gagging from the tear gas. Agents all around him. You hear no orders from them, just a knocking on the window.
I'm trying to leave.
Then his vehicle window is broken. George is pulled out of his car and detained. All the while, George says he's telling agents he is a citizen and an Iraq War vet. In October, DHS claimed Retes became violent and refused to comply with law enforcement, and he was arrested for assault. But attorneys for the Institute for Justice is using the Skyfox video to prove that it isn't true. And Thursday, Retes' attorneys filed this lawsuit, claiming he was deprived of due process.
The Fifth Amendment demands due process. Federal officers are not above the Constitution. It is the highest law of the land. U.S. citizens must be able to hold the government accountable when they deprive them, when the government deprives them of these basic civil liberties.
Retes was detained for 72 hours and never charged. He couldn't call his family or an attorney.
I served this country and swore an oath to defend the Constitution. I still believe in that oath.
It's not easy to sue federal agents, but Retes is ready for the fight.
Because it's the right thing to do. I mean, I just don't understand how I would be able to sit here and just continue to let these things happen to not only myself, but other people.
George Retes says that he asked over and over why he was being detained, and no one was able to answer him. He was also exposed to the tear gas and the pepper spray, was never allowed to shower. Now, we reached out to DHS to get some kind of comment on the lawsuit, but we did not hear in time for this newscast. In downtown LA, Susan Hirosuna, Fox 11 News.
Los Angeles County is suing the gaming platform Roblox. The county alleges Roblox exposed children to sexual content, online predators, claiming the company failed to properly moderate content or enforce age safeguards, despite marketing itself as safe for kids. The county says Roblox prioritized profit over safety, violated California's laws on competition and advertising. Roblox strongly disputes the claim, saying, quote, "We're built with safety at its core, continue to evolve and strengthen our protections. There's no finish line when it comes to protecting kids. And while no system can be perfect, our commitment to safety never ends."
The original King Taco in Cyprus could soon become a historic landmark. Raul and Maria Martinez launched the business in 1974. They created a mobile taqueria before opening the storefront the next year. King Taco introduced Angelinos to soft tacos. The Los Angeles Cultural Heritage Commission unanimously approved the designation, citing the structure as a historical and cultural landmark. 2 more votes would make the historic landmark status official and preserve the original King Taco. We thank them for the soft tacos. All right, celebrating Black Heritage Month by cycling through history.
You got to check this out. A Santa Monica man is on a mission to bike through historical trails across the whole country. Fox 11's Nick Garcia introduces us to the man known as the bicycle nomad.
When I was a kid, it's the first taste of freedom that I had.
Eric Cedeno, known on social media as Bicycle Nomad, has spent his life on 2 wheels. He's also dedicated to exploring history and sharing what he learns with his followers on Instagram. Cedeno has biked through a portion of the Underground Railroad, retracing the path of people seeking freedom.
I always say, I can't compare what they went through in my experience. What am I seeing here? The Underground Railroad. But I've always been fascinated with the resilience of the people that traveled the Underground Railroad.
It was after that trip that he discovered his life's mission.
But I didn't connect with the history until I came across this particular photo of 20 black soldiers going from Missoula, Montana to St. Louis, Missouri, 1,900 miles.
Buffalo Soldiers, an all-black unit of the U.S. Army after the Civil War. They were among the first to experiment with cycling as a means of military transportation. Learning about them opened Cedeno's eyes to a rich history of black bicyclists.
To see people that look like me, my skin tone, traveling by bike in 1897, I was like, wow. I just became fascinated. I became fascinated because I was like, man, that could have been my grandpa or my great-grandfather.
In 2022, he pedaled through a portion of the exact route those soldiers took.
When I do trips, I want to do it as historically as possible. I want to camp where they camped. I want to take the route that they took. I want to do the miles that they took.
He says it's not lost on him that the freedoms he enjoys now were the dreams of those men.
Every day I will call out names of Private John Finley, Mingo Sanders. What happened here?
Cedeno's been able to identify 9 of the 20 soldiers and says he will spend his life working to identify the other 11 and teaching people about them.
This is not my story, this is their story.
But whether cycling across state lines or through the streets of Santa Monica, their story is part of his story.
My dad is such a wise man, and he was like, I think you were the one who was chosen to tell this story. And that carries a lot of weight.
And yet, when he gracefully glides through history on his bike, he appears weightless. In his words, free. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Look for him on the road.
Yeah, that was
Santa Monica and beyond. Yep. All right, coming up, we are checking in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger.
Couple little spotty showers left over right now, but the rain is wrapping up. The snow is wrapping up in the mountains. We've got a chilly day tomorrow, a beautiful weekend ahead, and it stays warm, it looks like, next week. We'll get to those details on the forecast coming up.
Well, have you seen this? Skiers and snowboarders enjoying an afternoon of fresh powder at a Lake Tahoe ski resort when all of a sudden, you see that?
I love it.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 bears go charging right across the ski run. As you can imagine, some people were screaming, afraid, not sure, but the trio of bears just pretty much just kept on going, seemingly unbothered by the drama they created. This video shared by someone who was in a chairlift at the North Star Resort in Truckee, I believe, yesterday.
I love that video, right?
The bears are like, this is my area. Like, get out of here.
It would be scary.
Where's Goldilocks, though?
Yeah, right. There was the guy in the yellow ski suit this seems like the bear was maybe thinking about going near him or her. Anyway.
Yeah,
All right, what do you have
I like the video because I wasn't close to the bears. It's just fun to look at them.
Yeah.
Frolic in the snow.
Yeah.
We got a lot of snow in our mountains.
Yeah, over 3 feet around Big Bear, and maybe another inch or two at most tonight. But it's winding down. And we're finally at the end of this, multi-storm system kind of week. Radar right now does show a little bit, again, spotty showers, a little bit of light snow in some parts of the mountains. I'm going to switch the radar to a more of a high-res kind of version here, which will give you even a better idea of where we're seeing some of that rain. So again, there's a few of these little light showers over our very far eastern areas. That's Riverside right here. So you can see it's heading towards places like Hemet, Lake Elsinore. Near there, some showers and a little bit of that snow around Crestline to Big Bear as well. But again, light stuff winding down. Cold night for us tonight. This is probably going to be the coldest so far this season, just barely by maybe a degree or two compared to some other really cold nights. Notice Big Bear, for example, 11 degrees. So the mountains are super cold. And then we've got all these 30s across the desert. You can see Fraser Park maybe down around 19 degrees. Then as we take you in a little bit closer, a lot of 30s across the valleys and the Inland Empire. Might be close to like 39 or 40 degrees for downtown. You can see Anaheim to Whittier at 39 as well. And then we get closer to the coast and it's quote warmer, but not by much. Temperatures are still cold there with lows in the low 40s. So probably a run the heater kind of night tonight, or at least multiple blankets or, whatever you got to do to stay warm. Tomorrow's going to be a cool day. We're only going to come up into the upper 50s for LA, but it does get warmer this weekend. And we also have wind advisories that continue. It's not real windy everywhere where we have these in effect right now, but there's going to be some gusty winds in some spots overnight. Notice the expiration time, 9 o'clock around LA, 2 a.m. for Orange County to IE, and then the deserts continue with some winds that'll be strong into tomorrow morning. So just an example of what the projected wind gusts look like right around now or into next hour. You can see along the coast, maybe a little bit gusty, especially out here, places like Big Bear to Palm Springs. And then as we take you into tomorrow morning, those wind speeds overall relaxing, maybe a little gusty in some parts of the desert in the morning. On to next week now, because people are wondering, is there more rain coming? For California, yes. For us, minimal, if anything, the way it looks to me. So we're going to see this big storm system out here. So we know that's going to be there. We know rain is going to be funneled towards California. We're thinking Sunday it's hitting Northern California, and this sort of stream of rain should shift southward. We expect that to happen at some point next week as well. But does it get pushed all the way down to our area? It doesn't look too likely that would happen. Here's Tuesday. It's kind of like the middle part of the state. And then Wednesday, mostly holding north of us, or maybe a few showers clip us on Wednesday. Now, of course, if this track were to shift farther south, which is a possibility, then we'd see more likely rain for us. But I'm thinking most of the rain misses us more so north next week. So maybe a slight chance, like I said, around Wednesday. That's about it. Our temperatures, importantly, will be on the rise. I say that because I think a lot of us are maybe looking forward to some sunnier, warmer weather this weekend. We've got nicer temperatures for Saturday, 70s on Sunday. Next week, we've got a lot of 70s in the forecast as well. That's for LA, Inland Orange County. Here's the coast. Not quite as warm as inland areas, but still not too bad for the valleys, the Inland Empire. Again, temperatures going up, 70s Sunday and beyond. Let me round it out with the mountains and deserts. So mountains, after a really cold stretch, will get close to 60 next week. In the high desert, temperatures going up, and the hot spot is going to be in the low desert. Palm Springs, we've got some 80s for next week. Back to you.
We still have more news ahead at 8. I'm reading ahead. You're going to love this one.
It's very cute. But first, here's a preview of what's coming up at 9. 2 billionaires, 2 big moves. Steven Spielberg and Mark Zuckerberg set their sights on other states as California's proposed wealth tax to blame. And how much money could it really raise? We'll break that all down. Plus, is your favorite candy not what it used to be? The grandson of Reese's inventor says Hershey has changed the recipe, and he's not happy about it. What's really inside those iconic cups? We will unwrap the details ahead at 9.
Apparently hearts were breaking all over the world over the story of Punch.
So Punch is a baby monkey at a Japanese zoo, rejected by his mother. This video of little Punch dragging around a stuffed animal given to him as a substitute for his mom. That's what broke all these hearts. But now the good news. It seems the troop of macaque monkeys he lives with decided to accept the little orphan and look after him. Other monkeys have been seen grooming him, an important social activity, which signals bonding, trust, and acceptance. Punch was also seen playing with other members of the group, and in one case, look at that, got a big monkey hug from an older member.
Well, it's always nice to end on a happy note.
It is very. Don't you have something to add to that?
Well, I was saying that IKEA in Japan said
Yeah.
they were going to send a new supply of those plush toys in case he didn't make any new friends.
Is that true?
They're not to be needed, right?
No, but still, I think you should have more plushies. Send it.
SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, the wild weather week wraps up. It brought rain, snow, and powerful winds. But when will the sunshine return? Plus, the surprising impact the storm had on a major mountain pass. Plus, a backcountry ski trip near Lake Tahoe ends in tragedy. 8 lives lost, 1 still missing. What we're learning about the victims. And we're live from the coast to the inland valleys. Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger with a preview of what's on the horizon.
Well, nice to see some dry live camera views right there. We have a little bit of rain still on radar, but it's wrapping up. We have some drier weather ahead. Still going to be a cold one tomorrow, though. Much nicer this weekend, in my opinion. We'll get to that forecast soon. Marla?
And LA County officials right now trying to protect children from online predators. We're live in downtown Los Angeles tonight with the latest lawsuit against a popular gaming platform.
But first, at 9 o'clock, we begin with this live look from Skyfox. This is in Culver City. Breaking news. Firefighters responding to a fire inside the Westfield Culver City Mall. Live pictures. You can see there are a whole lot of crews working to contain the flames, but you see the Target, the Best Buy, the Media Lounge there as well. We are hearing reports that the fire is inside that Target, but that's not been confirmed. No active flames from this shot either, but look at that presence from firefighters. Police say there are no injuries reported. The shopping center is being evacuated, and it is now closed for the evening, given that it is 9 o'clock on this Thursday night. So obviously we'll keep a watch. This is the Target Westfield Culver City Mall, where there are reports of a fire inside. No injuries to report. Quite a picture there. We'll bring it inside now and say good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. Thanks for being with us. I'm Marla Tejas. Southern California experiencing its third and final storm of the week, bringing rain, mountain snow, and gusty winds. Snowfall impacted mountain roads like the Grapevine, while wind advisories and a high surf warning do remain in effect. We do have team coverage. Reporters Ed Lascos and Christina Gonzalez standing by, but we kick things off with the Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger. Adam, can we expect some more wet weather in the next week?
Next week is going to be a slight possibility. Nothing like what we had this week, though. We'll explore that a little bit later. I just want to start with short-term stuff, what we see going on right now to begin. And on radar, our far eastern areas, we have a little bit of moisture still passing through in the form of some light rain and a little bit of light snow still coming down in some of the mountains. I'm going to switch the radar type to more of a high-res version, which will make it look a little less like there's a lot of rain everywhere. That last version made it look like maybe a little more. So this is a little more accurate. And again, we've got just a few of these little light showers here. You can see the blue over the mountains indicating a little bit of snow around Big Bear to near Highland, for example. A little burst of snow there right now. And there's actually winter storm warnings that continue in the mountains through tonight because of situations like this. Could be a little snow that still might accumulate. Nothing real heavy, though. Temperatures tonight will be another big part of our story because obviously, it's been cold lately. The nights have been cold, but tonight will be colder than it's been, and maybe the coldest so far this season. In Big Bear, we're calling for 11 degrees there. You see a lot of 30s also across the high desert, into the valleys, the Inland Empire. Many areas will drop into the 30s overnight tonight as well. Might be around 40 degrees downtown, and then you get into Whittier to Anaheim, 40 or maybe 38 in some spots. So pretty cold stuff. And then you get a little closer to the coast, and it's just a pinch warmer, but still very cold. Tomorrow, not a completely clear sky, but at least it's dry. Temperatures in the 50s in the afternoon. Warmer temps coming this weekend. We'll get to that later. Marla?
All right, Adam, thank you. Well, flooded roads seemingly all across Los Angeles, damage to flood channels, to dangerous snow conditions in our local mountains. This latest round of 3 storms in less than a week has really slammed our area. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Santa Monica with a roundup of all that damage. And the image behind you, it's something else, Ed.
Yeah, it's really surreal, Marla, when you think about a debris flow only here in this area of Santa Monica, right near the Palisades. We're talking about a debris flow of concrete, of all things. Frank, take us right into the story. This is the Santa Monica Canyon, the flood channel here, and all of that down there, layers and layers of concrete slabs washed out from the channel itself down here, carried by the current. See a lot of the runoff from the hillsides of the Palisades getting by here, but at the height of the storm, all of that concrete almost served like a makeshift dam blocking taking a lot of that water as it was surging down this way, heading to the ocean itself. Better look at this. Up top, Skyfox we go, and it is quite a scene. I've been saying dozens and dozens of slabs of concrete, but maybe hundreds of them there. So you know the backstory. Back in the 1970s, engineers put these slabs of concrete along the walls of the flood channel as a barrier. But then as all the heavy rain and that surging water came down from the hillsides of the Palisades, it actually ripped those concrete slabs off and then carried them down the flood channel itself. So imagine the force of that water to be able to do that, and then piling them all up here like they're pieces of styrofoam or cardboard. In any event, though, nothing to fool around with for the local residents here. They're concerned that if you get a lot of rain next time around, it could actually overflow the flood channel itself. And the neighbors, some of them shaking their heads, saying, you know, this is just the latest concern, the latest threat they've been dealing with since that devastating wildfire in the Palisades. Listen.
We've been dealing with the fires, and then there was a flood after the fires, and then this would make it more likely to flood again. So, yeah, it's scary.
Can you imagine the force of the water? Look how it just ripped that concrete and carried it all the way down here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
County crews are moving into the area. There is big, heavy equipment coming in. So I wanted to just let everybody know to expect that there are going to be some traffic impacts and delays in the area. City crews are on the ground. CD11 is on the ground, going door to door, letting residents in the area know what's happening.
And as we move on, making the rounds from a concrete debris flow to a mud flow, this up in the Hollywood Hills on Outpost Drive, that's just below Mulholland in that area. The mud flow coming down, the neighbors telling us, from a vacant lot flowing down the hillside into the backyard of one of the homes there. Nobody injured here. LA City Fire working on this, saying also there's no structural damage to that home. The backyard as that mud came down. The mud said to be several inches thick. More video now talking about several inches to several feet deep. The snow. Look at that up in the mountains of San Bernardino County. A blizzard situation up there, especially up in the Running Springs area. We're told that town hit by a blackout. No cell service. All the major carriers dead because of that blizzard condition. Don't know if they've been able to get that service back this late hour. Unbelievable. Many cars buried under several feet of snow. Travel barely passable on some of these roads. Certainly changed more than required as you go through here. It's the only way to move by slowly and safely on those mountain roads as those blizzard conditions continue. Back out here live talking about the conditions here. You heard the city councilwoman Tracy Park talking about the plans to bring in a lot of the heavy equipment here, and they're working on a bit of a deadline. They want to get all of this cleared out, Marla, before the next storm comes, perhaps next week sometime, and you get some more rain coming through here. But their problem is it's a very tight area here, Channel Drive, Channel Road, right off PCH, heading up into the Palisades, at very small, narrow roads, and to bring in that heavy equipment, like let's step off the curb here, don't want to fall down. It's awful dark and wet. You talk about these roads. Yeah, Frank, look at that. Look how thin they are. So imagine narrow. You try to get in a big crane. You try to get in some of the payloaders to remove all of this concrete. It's going to be a heck of a job. So they're already warning residents. They've been going to the door-to-door with the neighborhood earlier. Some of the city officials saying, hey, we got the heavy equipment coming in. Maybe some of it moving it as early as tomorrow. So it's going to be quite an operation here, Marla. But they certainly want to get this cleaned up because, as we all know, we're not out of the rainy season just yet.
No, not by a long shot. And Tracy Park, she was out front on this issue even yesterday saying, I know we want to get this cleaned up, but work cannot start until the rain passes through. So that would be now and in the coming days.
Yeah, good point, because this actually happened. I'm thinking maybe around after that first storm hit, the really heavy rain. Remember that's a few days ago, and the neighbors saying, hey, you got to do something about this, but they said it was just too unsafe. And so as she was saying, the councilwoman, we got to wait until this the trio of storms moves through. We get a break with some better weather, sunny weather, rain stops, and we can move in here and get the equipment. But also look at the current. You still have a good current moving down there from the water as it goes through. So you don't want to put any equipment in there or any manpower in there. So that's another safety factor they've got to deal with. But you're right, amazing is certainly a good adjective as Frank gives us a look at that water just running. At least it's not muddy water, huh, coming down from the hillsides. A lot of it's clear as it goes down here and heads right to the ocean itself.
Yeah, let's look on the bright side of things. At least it's not muddy water. All right. Ed and Frank,
you bet.
Thank you. Some sad news out of Lake Tahoe. A devastating avalanche right near Lake Tahoe claimed the lives of 8 skiers, with one still missing and presumed dead. The victims included mothers, sisters, and experienced guides, all part of a close-knit group on a backcountry ski trip. 6 survivors were rescued, but as Jana Katsuyama from our Bay Area sister station reports the tragedy has deeply shaken communities across Northern California.
The tragedy from the Sierra Avalanche Tuesday is having a heartbreaking impact on people in the Bay Area, where word is spreading that some of the victims were from communities here. Catherine Vitt, a former employee of Sirius XM Radio and mother of 2 in Green Bay, is considered one of the victims. Neighbors say it is a shock.
Helpful, busy, but they both worked out of their home. And they had 2 kids who had basic school system about a mile from here, and she'd walk them to school in the morning. Then come back, try to get some exercise in, and go back to her desk. And same with her husband. And they took good care of their property, and nice neighbors.
She was a wonderful mom, a wonderful neighbor, and very loving towards my Mishka because she got smoky, and yes, just loving. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Also in Mill Valley, the mayor has told news outlets that some mothers from the small community are also among the victims. The school district is on winter break, but shared a statement saying they are preparing to help support the community. Quote, in preparation for students' return, our staff will be fully briefed and counseling support will be available at each school site for both students and staff. Also among the victims, Carolyn Sikar, a 45-year-old San Francisco woman, and her sister, 52-year-old Liz Claybaugh from Idaho. According to the New York Times, who spoke with their brother, the sisters were traveling with college friends from Stanford.
So sad. That was Jana Katsuyama reporting from KTBU. Meanwhile, Governor Newsom in the Bay Area today, he says he has been in communication with the Nevada County Sheriff as the state provides support. He says his wife has ties to some of the victims.
Just learning some of my wife's old family friends. And so, my son just came back from Tahoe and could have easily been one of those folks in Sugar Bowl. I've been in that area many, many times, stayed in those cabins just a year or so ago, and very mindful of the terrain and the nature of this. But just, it's tragic. It's the most devastating avalanche. There's a loss of life we've ever experienced.
Newsom added that conditions are still treacherous in this area in the Sierra and urged people to be cautious if you do go to the Tahoe area. Well, closer to home, the recent round of snow is giving Southern California's mountain resorts the boost they need to kickstart winter sports. Big Bear Resort has received more than 3 feet of snow just this week, and with the worst of the storm passing, it should set up for a safer time to hit the slopes.
Snowing, which we've all been waiting for so long. It's been a slow start to the season, and it's definitely picked up. We've received over 3 feet of snow so far this week. So great time to get up here and get some laps if you haven't been up here this season.
Right now, snow chains or snow tires are required on the mountain. Officials stress to always check out the road conditions before heading out. And by the way, a single-day lift ticket this weekend will run you between $147 to $169 for an adult and $85 to $95 for kids. Prices vary, so be sure to check their website. Actor Eric Dane dies at 53. Up next, a look at how Hollywood is remembering him tonight. And LA County says one popular platform is putting kids at risk, and they're taking legal action. Why experts say parents should not wait for the government to step in. Plus, Pete Buttigieg takes the lead in a new poll for the 2028 Democratic race, but Gavin Newsom and ACO Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are hot on his heels. We break down the numbers. New at 9, is your child safe while gaming online? LA County is suing Roblox, claiming the platform exposes kids to predators and explicit content. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon, she's live for us with what one expert says parents should be asking and also Roblox's response. Rachel.
The company itself, by the way, reports over 150 million daily active users. And get this, Marla, they say that about 40% of those users are under the age of 13. But the LA County here, they say there's not enough safeguards in place for that gaming service to protect children from being exploited. LA County officials say they're trying to protect children from online predators. It's why the county says it's suing the popular social media gaming platform Roblox. The lawsuit alleges children in LA County have been repeatedly exposed to explicit content and that the digital space has become a breeding ground for predators.
All games are social. They're all social media.
Clayton Cranford, founder of Cyber Safety Comp, says the risk in these kinds of platforms is not knowing who your child may be talking to. He urges parents to do their homework.
I would ask some basic questions. Can my child communicate with strangers in this game? How does that work?
I play this game called Fishing Simulator, and that's mainly the game that I play on it.
Duke's father, Marcus, says while his 7th grader plays Roblox, he says he makes sure he's not communicating with strangers.
We don't do social media. If there's any kind of chatting, it's just amongst his friends.
In a statement, the company says they deny the claims in the lawsuit and says Roblox is built with safety at its core and that they continue to evolve and strengthen their protections every day.
Okay.
The lawsuit against Roblox comes on the heels of a landmark social media trial happening in Los Angeles that questions whether Meta's platforms deliberately addict and harm children.
Parents have to take a front seat in control of their child's digital world.
Just an open conversation at all times about, not just, what's online, but what he sees on television or hears about from his friends.
Now, Roblox also listed out various parental controls and safety measures they recently put in place. As I mentioned, they try to do that every single day. But Marla, the biggest concern I'm hearing from parents as well as safety experts is just not knowing exactly who's behind the computer and who their kids are talking to. So it'll be interesting to see how this all, of course, plays out. Reporting live tonight, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New at 9, Pete Buttigieg leads a new 2028 Democratic primary poll in New Hampshire with 20% support. California Governor Gavin Newsom and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, not ACO, as I mistakenly said as we headed to break. They are tied for second at 15%. Buttigieg, who's been campaigning for Democrats in key states, says he's focused on helping others but has not ruled out another White House run. Meantime, Newsom and AOC are also making headlines, with Newsom touring New Hampshire soon and AOC facing criticism over recent remarks in Europe.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
We love a good time lapse, don't we? This is a time lapse from this afternoon. Skyfox over some mountains there, and then Oh, I like cruising along with Skyfox. It looks like we have some serious cloud cover. I think that's all gone away. Let's check in with the man who knows, Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger. That third and final round, really kind of the weakest though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much gone. There's a little bit of light rain and light snow lingering over our far eastern areas. Sometimes, by the way, when I'm in the Weather Center in the afternoon, we've got a monitor above me with a live feed of Skyfox, the helicopter camera, and I find myself distracted watching that thing all day long. Just very fascinating, you know, a view of what's going on out there, whether it's weather or not. Whether or not it's weather or not, I guess, whatever that means. You know what I'm saying. Okay,
we
live
know
view
exactly what you mean.
in Santa Monica right now, as it is brisk, it is breezy, and that's going to be the case for a lot of the area tonight. The winds kind of hanging around and very cold temperatures, but a very nice weekend coming up. So that's where we start. That's kind of the important part of the forecast, as we expect mostly sunny skies on Saturday, upper 60s, lots of sunshine Sunday, even warmer. So that'll be a very nice welcome turnaround compared to what it's been like all week long here. Like I said, we do have a little bit of moisture left over, some rain far east. Here's Riverside, for example. So from there down to around Temecula, a little bit of rain. You can see just east of Orange County, a little bit there, and then a little bit of that snow over the mountains as we come in a bit closer. Again, some light showers passing by here around Lake Elsinore also. And then up to the north, Big Bear to around Crestline. A little bit of the snow continuing here. Not that big of a deal, not high impact. And as we go later into the night on Futurecast, notice from 11 p.m. on, the rain, the snow kind of wrap up. This is just cloud cover we're seeing. We're actually going to have a batch of clouds move in late overnight. So that hangs around during the first part of the day tomorrow and then kind of clears out late day tomorrow. And then, like we said, lots of sunshine for the weekend. Cold tonight, though. 30s and 40s for low temperatures. 8 o'clock in the morning for L.A. It's like 43 degrees and only warming into the upper 50s in the afternoon. Around, around the rest of Southern California, you see the cool temps tomorrow with many areas upper 50s to around 60 degrees for high temperatures, about 10 below average for this time of year. Rain moving out. We've got a system to keep an eye on as far as California is concerned next week. It's going to be a big one out here over the Pacific with a persistent feed of rain going from Northern California up into the Northwest. That's Sunday. There's Monday. Notice how it's up here. What does this matter for us? Well, we know it's going to get pushed a little farther south around Tuesday, Wednesday, but still mostly that stays north of us, targeting more so Central California. So we don't expect much rain as it looks now for us next week. Maybe a slight chance on Wednesday. You'll see that here on my 7-day forecast with a 20% right there. You might be hearing about the potential for significant rain next week. I'm just not seeing it really play out for us. I'm thinking, again, mostly off towards our north. Tomorrow, again, cool. Clouds early, sun in the afternoon. And we warm up this weekend. Saturday, like we talked about, the 60s, 70s on Sunday. And the warm air is here to stay for next week with high temperatures in the 70s through the rest of the 7-day forecast. Marla?
All right, Adam, thank you. Attendance is down at Six Flags and debt is up. Coming up, we take a closer look at the plan to turn things around. Well, it is not certain to be on the November ballot, but California's proposed billionaire wealth tax may already be shaking things up. Director Steven Spielberg has reportedly moved to New York, and Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg is reportedly eyeing a mansion in Florida. The plan would tax 5% of billionaires' assets to help fund health care. Critics say it could push wealthy residents out of the state, though neither Spielberg nor Zuckerberg has linked their moves to the tax. Last night, Vermont's Democratic Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders was in L.A. campaigning for the potential ballot measure. He's for it. Meantime, Governor Newsom opposes the proposed tax. Six Flags beat earnings expectations last year, making $792 million on $3.1 billion in revenue, but fourth quarter attendance fell, with ticket revenue down 9%. CEO John Riley says new rides and park upgrades are helping, but high debt and a failed merger are still challenges. The stock has dropped 65% over the past year. A chocolate controversy is stirring. Brad Reese, grandson of Reese's Cups inventor, claims Hershey changed the iconic treats recipe. He says the cups should only use milk chocolate and peanut butter, but accuses Hershey of using compound coatings and flavored creams. Hershey denies the claims, stating it still uses chocolate and peanut butter.
Coming up, a town hall just wrapped up where residents are complaining about prostitution. All the details coming up right after this.
Plus, shark attacks are making headlines, including a deadly encounter in California's Monterey Bay. But could the fear be overblown? Why experts say the odds are still in your favor. Straight ahead.
SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Tonight, neighbors concerned about sex trafficking and prostitution along the Western Avenue corridor packed a community meeting demanding answers and accountability. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he joins us now live with what residents heard and what could change. Do we think that the residents feel more satisfied after this meeting tonight, Matthew?
Yeah, Marvel, I'd say it's a mixed bag. I think they're glad that they had their questions and their concerns brought up and got attention to it, but I don't know if they're kind of going to wait and see if it works out. Go ahead and take a look at this video. You can see inside tonight's town hall, dozens of people there from Larchmont to Koreatown and from all along Western Avenue. The main topic, of course, prostitution. It's something we first exclusively exposed last month, and residents almost every night there seeing people having sex outside their homes and then picking up the used condoms and more the following morning. And for months, residents again have said they feel ignored with this issue, saying nothing was being done. So tonight they got a chance to bring those concerns to officials.
Big issue for all of us. It's not just me picking up used condoms on my street. It's seeing literally 15-year-old girls on the corner not too far from my home at, in the middle of the night wearing nothing. It's just pretty appalling.
For core homeowners that were being taxed to death in this city, okay, I expect a little bit more to be done in our neighborhoods.
With this mayor and this city and the city council, I don't think anything's ever going to get done.
You don't feel like anything was happening with that?
No, it was. Yeah, I felt like it was falling on deaf ears.
Do you like to see more police out there and looking for what's going on?
I think everyone is playing a role to make sure that the sex trafficking is eliminated. We brought different partners today. We had Journey Out, which I think is the most important one because that's how we're going to get the women out. But we brought in the LAPD, District Attorney. We're working with LA Sand, Bureau of Street Lighting.
What would you like to see more police out there?
I think we have a really great team right now. We're moving forward with our plan. Everyone feels very confident, and we'll keep working with our team that we have here.
So Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez basically saying that he thinks the way to fix this is not necessarily more police, but bringing in those outside resources that can help the women and the girls that are out there possibly being sex trafficked. But you heard me say, do you want more police? And it basically sounds like that answer is no. Reporting live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
And was that an opinion that he shared broadly with the group? And how did they react to that?
I didn't hear that opinion broadly shared to the group, and that's kind of why I wanted to ask him, because we heard people asking, will we see more police? And we kind of kept getting these broad answers like we're working on it, we're tackling this, we're focused on it, but we never really got an answer to that question.
I'm sure residents have an opinion about that. There's a new follow-up for you, Matthew, just like that. Great reporting as always. Thanks. New at 9, a Caltech scientist is shot and killed at his Llano home in the Antelope Valley. Deputies found 67-year-old Carl Grillmare on his porch Monday morning. They say he died right there on the scene. Authorities arresting 29-year-old Freddie Snyder, linking him to the murder, carjacking, and a burglary. Snyder is being held on $2 million bail. Grillmare was known for his research on dark matter and planets that orbit stars outside of our solar system. New details tonight. A 25-year-old mother pleading not guilty today to murder and assault charges in the death of her 17-month-old daughter. Carmen Anita DeGreg is accused of killing the child inside a Santa Monica apartment last month. DeGreg is being held on $2 million bail and faces up to 25 years to life if convicted. Really tragic news here. Actor Eric Dane, known for his roles as McSteamy on Grey's Anatomy and Cal Jacobs on Euphoria, has passed away at 53 after battling ALS. His career spanned decades with memorable roles in TV and film. He is survived by his wife and 2 daughters. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. New tonight, a Beverly Hills woman was just evicted from a home she had been living in for years. She says she was living there legally. As Fox 11's Gina Silva reports, all of this comes at the same time as that same woman is being accused of filing false liens on other properties.
It is a troubling case. This is an eviction involving a woman accused of recording multiple liens against properties across LA County. Homeowners say it shouldn't be so easy for someone to do this. Evicted from a Beverly Hills home. Rita Ortiz, who advertises as a business consultant on social media, is accused of squatting for over 2 years. The homeowner spoke with us over the phone.
I visited the house several times to try to get access to the property. She would not let me into the house. And eventually she actually filed a restraining order against me, and so we have to go to court and defend ourselves.
Hola, Rita. We contacted Rita, and through text, she denied squatting and claimed neighbors stole her property. But this story has many layers. Homeowners say Ortiz, the founder and registered agent of Ortiz Consulting LLC, a real estate and business consulting company, has recorded mechanics liens against properties throughout LA County, with recorded claims totaling hundreds of millions of dollars.
We've found out there are 35 outstanding liens in Los Angeles and several other counties on people where she has the same MO.
Andrea Knowles says a mechanics lien for $24,640,000 was recorded against her Beverly Hills home, filed under the name of Rita Ortiz, for claims of unpaid cleaning services.
We didn't know her. None of us have ever met her. She's never been in my home. I've never contracted business with her.
The homeowner where Rita was evicted says public records show Ortiz recorded at least 5 mechanics liens against his property while she was living there.
One of the ones that she filed a $3 million mechanics lien against my property, claiming that she provided cleaning services. So somebody can just go in, file this claim, put a lien on your house, cloud the title, and you have no recourse.
Ortiz claims she only filed the liens because those former neighbors defrauded her, something they denied.
It feels terrible, and also, you feel pretty powerless that somebody has created a situation on the most valuable thing you own, which is your home.
In LA County, you can sign up for alerts to be notified if there is a change to your title. Bottom line, these homeowners say new laws need to be implemented to protect homeowners. Reporting from Sherman Oaks, I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Former Prince Andrew has been arrested in connection with the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and he's since later been released. It's the first arrest of a senior British royal in almost 400 years. The brother of King Charles III is accused of misconduct in office, with newly released emails allegedly showing contact with Epstein. One California congressman says he should answer questions from Congress.
Andrew needs to come before our committee and start answering questions. I mean, look, if you have allegations of raping a young girl, I don't think the appropriate punishment is you no longer get to be a prince.
These allegations are separate from those made by Virginia Giuffre, who claimed she was trafficked to Britain to have sex with the prince in 2001 when she was 17. She died by suicide last year. Andrew has denied any wrongdoing. Well, King Charles issuing a personal statement this morning saying in part, "Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all." And earlier tonight on the Fox 11 News at 6, I spoke to former prosecutor and legal analyst Mary David about what could come next legally for the former prince and what charges he could face.
In 24 hours, a suspect that is detained has to be either charged, released on bail, or released under investigation. All this means is that the charges have not come out yet. It does not mean that he won't be charged, but it means that investigators are taking their time to build a case, look at all the evidence, and decide what charges will come out.
How serious could these charges be?
Extremely serious. This charge of public misconduct in public office is incredibly rare. And it's really, usually they just charge the underlying offense, but here, with this charge, it carries up to a life in prison sentence. So it is very serious.
And this charge, to be clear, has nothing to do with sexual misconduct.
No, this charge is related to his sharing of communications and secrets related to his capacity as trade envoy.
Well, we heard from King Charles. He issued a statement today. Let me read this. He says, "Let me state clearly, the law must take its course as this process continues. It would not be right for me to comment further on this matter." Now, what do you make of this statement?
It's a broad statement which shows that the Crown is taking this very seriously, that they do want to send a message that no one is immune from being held accountable for their actions. It's certainly something that survivors and victims of sex trafficking, particularly those related to the release of these files related to the ex-prince, are celebrating.
Now, just to hit home on this point of the statement from King Charles, your initial reaction was he's leaving the door open for even more serious charges. Is that right?
Absolutely. Nothing is really off the table here. Right now, investigators are going to be looking through any communications, emails, messages. They're going to be talking to other witnesses who may have information that indicate that there was a breach of public trust and that the former prince was acting willfully, recklessly sharing information.
Is there a timeline when we can expect charges if in fact they would be filed?
That is so difficult to say. It really depends on what comes out from their searches of the residences and anyone who is willing to come forward now that such serious steps have been taken in the investigation. I will say, as a former prosecutor, when you have someone who perhaps did engage, and here we know that this is someone who did settle for sex abuse claims, that when you have a charge and you have the possibility of going after them for more quantifiable charges here in a case like this, where this is very fact dependent and it's a lot easier to relay the communications, figure out exactly what was said, especially because emails are so easy to track. Absolutely. So it will make it easier to get some of the justice back and up to life in prison. Even if it's not specifically for sex trafficking, it's still justice for victims.
Our thanks to Mary David for her perspective. Onto this, a jury clears an LAPD officer in the city in a lawsuit over a fellow officer's death during a 2022 bicycle training exercise. The parents of Officer Houston Tipping allege that Officer David Cuellar intentionally caused Tipping's fatal spinal injury. The lawsuit also claims Cuellar, acted in retaliation, accusing him of a prior crime Tipping had investigated. After 3 days of deliberations, the jury sided with the defense. The family's attorney says they plan to appeal the verdict. The Justice Department is backing a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Unified School District, claiming its policies to support schools with mostly minority students unfairly disadvantage white students. LAUSD defends the program, saying they tackle inequities, but critics see the lawsuit as part of a push to undo civil rights progress. A massive humpback whale washes ashore in Newport Beach, leaving officials with a tough decision: tow it miles offshore, bury it on land. Up next, we'll tell you what's making this situation even more challenging.
And we've got our last storm system of the week exiting the area. A couple spotty showers here tonight, but for the most part, we're drying out. Tomorrow's going to be cool. The weekend looks great as we warm up. I'll have that forecast for you coming up.
I got stuck in the water there, and I was going through, and I thought I'd get through, and it just stopped.
Tonight, floodwaters are receding across the San Fernando Valley, but earlier, no, it wasn't pretty. Another day of widespread flooding. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez shows us.
But it was stupid. I just should have turned around.
He was driving one of at least 6 vehicles. You can see on the Citizen app. They ended up stranded on rain-flooded Vineland at Van Owen.
I got stuck in the water there, and I was going through, and I thought I'd get through, and it just stopped.
The third storm this week made its way across the San Fernando Valley. Not as strong as the first two, but feeling colder.
I'm freezing. You're freezing? It's cold. Yeah, it is very.
She was one of many trying to keep warm as bus drivers negotiated the surf along the curb to make it easier for passengers to get on. But if you thought flooded intersections made driving difficult for some vehicles, imagine having to walk in this. It's like a pool. This man approached our news truck to borrow our cell to call a cab.
I have to call a taxi. Look at the floods. I can't cross the street. My shoes are soaked. I'm completely soaked.
He's not the only one.
A lot of water. The climate is not good. You know, it's working, but my buses is on. Only a half day. It's a problem.
Because of the rain?
Yeah.
He works construction, but no half days for crews dealing with power outages. They are working overtime as is Caltrans. The 5 freeway closed from Tuxford to Lancashire as lanes filled with water. But still passable, the road to the Riverwood community in Tahunga, although debris piled high and knocked over barricades attest to how much water has been flowing. Through the Little Tahunga Wash, authorities asking people to stay away from the water and follow this man's advice.
My suggestion, stay safe, stay inside. Don't be like me out here.
Tracking the rain in the San Fernando Valley, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
And the thing that brought all that is this, and it's moving away. So we have a little bit of spotty rain on the back end of all this and a couple more snowflakes still in part of the San Bernardino Mountains, for example, around Big Bear. But the wet weather wrapping up. Cold temperatures overnight tonight. This should be the coldest night so far this season. Still a cool day tomorrow, but at least a dry day. In a little bit closer on radar as we come down towards Temecula, we do have one little downpour right there, so it's not like everyone is completely done. But again, this is moving east, moving away from Orange County and LA. And as we take you a little farther north, you can see these white to blue colors indicating still a little bit of snow going on over some of the mountains there around Crestline, Running Springs, Big Bear, for example, and just east of Victorville, a little bit of light rain as well. We talked about how earlier the winds were breezy, but also beginning to wind down. We've lost the wind advisory that was posted earlier today for LA and West. We still have it officially in effect for Orange County to the IE until 2 o'clock in the morning, although winds are starting to back down there as well. And then for the deserts, we've got the wind advisory in effect until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So let's look at the wind forecast now. And again, we're going to find some parts of the coast maybe still a little breezy in the next hour or two. But as we take this into 6 a.m., you can see how most areas the winds are lighter. We still see these stronger gusts across parts of the desert, maybe some of the mountains getting some gusty winds as well. And then in midday tomorrow, Look at the lighter winds across the area. All right, temperatures now cold, especially in the mountains. How about that 11? That really stands out for Big Bear, and you can see a lot of 30s across the desert. Fraser Park down to about 19 degrees. As we bring it in a little bit closer, well, the coast will be the, quote, warm spot. Not that warm, though. Low 40s, mid 40s at the warmest there. You get towards L.A., about 40 degrees downtown, right along the 5 corridor and inland from there. Most temperatures will bottom out in the 30s. You can see the mid and upper 30s across the San Fernando Valley, San Gabriel Valley, 37 for Pasadena. Out to the IE, we've got a cluster of 30s there as well. So the point is, it's going to be a cold night tonight. We're also going to find clouds gradually move in overnight and kind of hang around for the first maybe half or so of the day tomorrow. So that's going to make it feel a little cooler as well. We got the cold temps in the morning, highs only in the upper 50s in the afternoon for LA, and many areas will be the same story. High temperatures, upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Now for Saturday, the temperatures are going to go up. Look at that, upper 60s, low 70s. And then how about Sunday? Sunny skies, and most areas get into the 70s. Marla?
All right, Adam, thank you. New details tonight. And that humpback whale that washed ashore in Newport Beach. The citizen video shows a juvenile about 30 feet long, weighing 20 tons. Local officials are working with agencies to investigate and plan its removal. Options include towing it 25 miles offshore or burying it on land. Right now, no decision has been made. Authorities are urging the public to stay clear of this area. Shark attacks are back to near average levels in 2025. There were 65 unprovoked bites worldwide, up from 47 in 2024, but still below the 10-year average of 72. The LA Times is reporting 9 of those attacks were deadly. That's higher than the average of 6. The U.S. led with 38% of global incidents, though its share dropped compared to previous years. This data comes from the Florida Museum of Natural History's latest shark attack reports. We'll be right back. Congratulations to this one here. Finally tonight, California native and UCLA student Alyssa Liu is bringing home Olympic gold. The 20-year-old became the first U.S. woman to win gold in figure skating since 2002, scoring a season-high score in her free skate in Milan. After a 2-year retirement that included climbing Mount Everest and starting college, Lou returned with joy and now gold. What a life she's led and what an inspiration she is. Huge congratulations to her. All right, thank you so much for spending some time with us on LA Live News Tonight, our 10 p.m. newscast just minutes away on Fox 11. Phil Shubin, we'll see you there, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night. Good night.